such of what makes a website work and what doesn't make it work. And one of the things that we bring to the table that most web developers don't is that we are a marketing agency. So we look at websites from a marketing perspective. It's critical in today's world to have a website that actually works for you. Now, there might be some instances where you may not need a website that is actually generating leads or selling a product. Perhaps you're the government and you're just there for information. Or perhaps, in some cases, independent contractors who have steady clients don't necessarily need to build their business through a website, but they need to have a web presence for just accountability or viability of having a business. So there are a couple of reasons why you might want a website that isn't generating you new leads and driving new business to your company, but the focus of this particular presentation, Anatomy of a Website, getting tactical on design, marketing, and internet business strategies, is really for those folks whose goal it is to build their business through the web. Let's take a look at the presentation here, the agenda. We're going to cover just some overall website marketing strategy ideas, thoughts, things to think about as you're actually building your website or lead generation site or whatever it is that you're looking to do and why you're here. We'll talk about some facts you should know. Some of them are really quite staggering, what's happening today on the web. Then we'll break down the important parts of the anatomy of a website. What are the critical aspects of a website from a marketing perspective? What can you do? Many things you can do today are free that help to drive traffic to your website. There's things that might be just a small addition to your site. It may be a full-blown new site. There's a lot of different things that you can do, and we'll cover some of the different things. And then what might be next for you? So when we talk about website marketing strategy, I think the first thing to think about with your website is, what are your goals? What really are you looking to do? What percent of your business do you expect to have come from the web? And especially based on that piece of information, I think that's critical to look at from an overall marketing strategy perspective. If the web is a part of your strategy, what percent of new business or continued business do you expect to get from having a web presence? And then your marketing budget should be in direct relation to whatever that goal is or whatever that expectation is. We know some people who all they do from a marketing perspective is get new business from their website. They do search engine optimization, pay-per-click, a variety of different things that we'll talk a little bit more about. And that is the only place they spend their marketing dollars because they know that they're going to be able to grow their business to the level that they want just from a web presence. So they don't do advertising and, direct mail and things like that. So understand really what are your goals. Do you want people to buy something? Is it just completely an opportunity to capture leads? Is it, is it simply educating your clients? Typically, if you are going to spend money on a website and you are not capturing leads and you're not using it as really an invisible salesperson, then you're wasting your money. I mean, if it's completely information-based only, then that's one thing. But if you really intend to do any of the other lead generation and such, and you're not looking at your site from that perspective, then you're really wasting your money. You shouldn't really have a website that's just out there as a pretty brochure if you really expect to generate income from it. So enough about the goals. I think you get my point that it's critical to really understand what it is you're trying to do. And the next thing I think that's just as important is who are you talking to and what motivates them. So for instance, if your target market is Gen Xers or Gen Ys or that particular generation, they are all about the web. And if you don't have a web presence at this point, then you could be missing out on a huge portion of your of new revenue, of new business. So who are you talking to? If you're talking to baby boomers, what is it that motivates baby boomers? What's important to them? Each different group, men, women, how you design the site is going to be affected by who your target market is. From a differentiation and positioning perspective, the more you can differentiate